Blessings, peace and blessings to everybody that's going to watch this video. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. Just took some time away from social media to focus on me. But side thought. I wanted to just do a quick little video about life. This thing called life, it's like a journey. And it's funny because as I'm riding on the highway right now, it's 4 lanes on the highway, or maybe 5 depending on where you're at, sometimes 2 lanes. Point being, however many lanes that it is on the highway, you stay in your lane. You move accordingly. Now, everybody on the highway has a destination that they're heading to. It's directions on how to get to your destination. You might know your destination without having to use a GPS, right? So, you know, some things in life we have done time and time again to the point where we don't need directions on how to do it, right? Or how to get there. And then sometimes, even though you know the way, or how to move, or how to do a certain thing, it still might not be the best way to go about it this time. You see, you heading to that same destination that you're familiar with, but it might be traffic this time. It might be an hour traffic jam. And you might have to take an alternate route. Taking that alternate route may cause you to have to put the GPS on so you can find the quickest alternate route to take. That alternate route that you take is what we consider being out of God's will, or God's permissive will. In other words, it was a direction to where God wanted to take you. But you got out of God's will, right? But it's still not over for you. It's just that now you got to take a different route to get to where God was intending on taking you quicker if you would have just stayed on that in that lane, right? Or if you just would have stayed on that path. But now you got to go an alternate route. Now you got to use the GPS to find the quickest route. So the GPS would be the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God. Jesus said, I'll lead and guide you into all truth. But the key to God leading and guiding us is that we have to be willing to be led. We have to follow, right? The same way you follow the GPS, because now you on an alternate route. And while you're on that alternate route, it may take a little longer to get to where your intended destination was, but you're still going to get there. Right? In other words, whatever God has intended and planned for your life, it's going to play out exactly how He intended for it to play out. But based off of the decisions that you made, now it just might take a little longer to get there. But you're still going to get there. Right? See, the thing is, God told Jeremiah, before I knew you, I formed you in the belly and ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. See, before God formed us, He already had a plan for each and every one of us on this earth. A specific date that we was going to be born, and a specific date that we're going to leave this earth. And in between those times, everything is already planned out. He already knows the decisions that we're going to make. See, Romans chapter 8, verse 30, he says, he predestined us. He said, who I foreknew, I also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his dear son. To foreknow us means God had the foreknowledge already of everything we was going to do. It's nothing that you can do to surprise God. It's not a decision that you can make that's going to surprise God. He's all-knowing. So now, because God knows everything, there's nothing you can do to surprise God. Your thoughts are not his thoughts. He said his ways are not our ways. As high as the heaven is from the earth is as far as his thoughts are from us. So in the foreknowledge of God, he already knew at some point that we would get off track in whatever area it was. And we would need to use that GPS to still get to that final destination. Well, in this thing called life, everybody's on the road, different lanes, and you have a destination that you're heading to, right? Some might be going to work. Some might be going to the grocery store, going shopping, go see a family member, go on a date, go do laundry, so forth and so forth. Everybody has a different destination that they heading to. But in this thing called life, we all have one destination. That's eternity. We are all heading to eternity. Right? And we are all in our own, in different lanes. We heading to eternity at different paces. You get what I'm saying? We might have to, and along the journey, as we travel, it's signs that tell us what's ahead. That's how we know whether this is our exit or not, by the sign. It's signs that tell us the speed limit. That's how we know whether we moving too fast. You know how people tell you, hey, you're moving too fast, you need to slow down, right? That's how we know whether we moving too fast or not, by the speed limit. You could either be moving too fast, and you know the consequence for driving too fast, right? You get pulled over, you get a ticket. Or possibly, you can get in a car accident and crash, and it could be fatal. Or you could be moving too slow in the fast lane. You get what I'm saying? You're out your lane. And because you're out your lane, you're not moving accordingly to how you should be moving in that lane. Now you holding up traffic. You slowing down the lane. You might cause an accident just by driving too slow in the wrong lane. You might forget to put your turn signal on. You get what I'm saying? You looking at somebody else, you see how they moving, and now you want to jump in their lane, but you forget to put your turn signal on before you switch lanes, right? And you turn too fast and you run into the other lane and you cause an accident because you was jumping in somebody else's lane instead of being comfortable staying in your own lane. So in this thing called life, it's important for us to recognize the signs the same way you recognize the signs on the road. Because God gives us signs. Anything that happens, you can't say you didn't see it coming. Right? You're in a bad, toxic relationship. It was plenty of red flags. Plenty of signs that you ignored. Right? You get fired from your job. It was plenty of warnings you had before they fired you. Plenty of write-ups and warnings. They didn't just fire you for no reason. Same thing as the road. Signs, right? It was signs. You sick in your body. Your body's going to give off signs. You know, your head might be hurting. Your arm, your left Your left side might go numb. You might have bowel problems and you can't use the bathroom the same way you used to. You might get chills, or you might break out in sweats. It's just different things to where your body lets off signs to let you know something is wrong. Just like it's signs on the road, right? So we move accordingly to the signs of the road. We pay attention to the signs. You got to pay attention to the signs that God is giving you in your life. Pay attention to the signs. If you pay attention to the signs, you're going to move better than if you just ignore the signs, right? You don't want to be no crash dummy out here, moving any kind of way, not paying attention to the signs, because you're going to end up somewhere lost, not paying attention to the signs, way off course of your journey by not paying attention to the signs. The key is you want to get to your destination safely, right? You want to get to your destination safely. Now, we have many stops before we get to the final destination in life. Get what I'm saying? But you want to get to your destination safely. And in order to do that, you got to stay in your lane. Stop comparing your life to other people. Stay in your lane. Or you're going to crash or cause somebody else to crash. Stay in your lane. Be comfortable in your lane. Because see, when you look at other people in their lane, you begin to compare yourself to them. Right? And now you might feel inadequate or feel unaccomplished. Now you get depressed because it seems like they doing better, and it seems like you should be further ahead than what you are, when really you just in your own lane, moving at your own pace. See, because in this thing called life, this journey, everybody moves at different paces. And just because I'm older than you does not necessarily mean I'm going to be more financially well than you. Right? And just because I'm younger than you doesn't mean that you know more than me. You get what I'm saying? We just all grow and mature at different paces. This is a journey. This is a journey. And in this journey, you have to learn to pace yourself. Just focus on you. Focus on your lane and pace yourself accordingly. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs and be content in your lane. And you're going to get to where you're going. It's no rush. What God got for you is for you, and can't nobody take that away from you. But when you move too fast, you're going to cause yourself to either crash, or you're going to cause somebody else to crash. You get what I'm saying? When you don't stay in your lane, you can cause something bad to happen. You get what I'm saying? And you might find yourself having to take that alternate course, having to use that GPS because you wasn't paying attention to the signs. You get what I'm saying? And now you're lost. And God's still willing to lead and guide you, just like the GPS, to the back, get you back on course and get you to your destination. But the key is be content in your lane. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs, people. And don't compare yourself to nobody else. You get what I'm saying? They in that lane for a reason. They headed somewhere. They in that lane for a reason. They focused on where they headed. You focus on your lane and focus on where you headed. And you're going to get to where you're going in God's perfect timing. You get what I'm saying? The sun shines on us all and it rains on us all. The Bible says he rains on the just and the unjust. To everything under heaven, there's a time and a season. So don't compare yourself to nobody. Just be content in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Y'all be blessed. In Jesus' name.